Good morning, miners. Russ coming at you. Today, we're going to take a look at a rough Ryder brown stag bone hand or knife. This is the Stockman out of that series and looks to be RR1799. Has the envelope opening mechanism, and mine came loose. Maybe I can re-glue that, but no biggie. It still stays closed when it's closed. This one is a great knife in my opinion. I think TK or Thrifty Knifty did a video on this, and his wasn't quite as good as an example of mine. But we have the stag cut in this bone, and it looks to be, well, brown. We have a great looking shield, which I don't see on a lot of these. Very nice transitions. And a lot like my marble knife, the shield, they had to cut the shield into the bone here, which stands proud. So RT bolsters, pinch bolster, line bolster. I do believe they have a black underliner here with brass liners. Great looking springs. Ooh, that feels great. Take a look at this side. It's pretty close color match. A little bit darker on this side, but still, I think this is a pretty knife. Okay, let's get this open. So anytime we have two nail nicks, we're usually talking about a larger blade. Not always. Looks to be mirror finished. Definitely a clip point, or could argue kind of a heck of a drop point there. So take a peek there. 440A steel, and the model number. Half stops. Nice snap. So from the second clip, that's a 5 and about 5.5. Does make a difference in my opinion where you pull from, because of leverage. Okay, and now we're taking a peek, and this is a little strange. Sometimes on other Stockmans we'll find this center blade. This one is a center blade. So they moved this one out. I could feel a little blade rub there. Ooh. What are we looking at here? This would be your spey blade. Normally, seems like in my other Stockmans, this is the Sheepsfoot. Large nail nick for this knife or blade. Smoking sharp. Feels like a heck of an edge. And looks like it came clean. I didn't clean this up or anything. Now, when you let this down, if you feel any, I'll kind of push it over. Let's see if we can see any, how those blades are touching. So we're going to have the same thing going here. And I do feel a little, and maybe that's where she's scratch and blade rub right there. So out the back end, this might be more what they call a coping blade, which belongs to the Sheepsfoot family, Warncliffe, and the Lamb's Foot. They're all kind of in that same design. It's just a little more straight down drop and not as rounded. You can definitely see the mirror on this. See the sky. Should be checking out how the tangs line up. I think that's great. And we'll go ahead and close this. Nice half stop. And okay, we're going back into the center. I want to keep this one. This one's definitely going to be a work knife. But I'll still want to keep it pretty. That's an easy 5 on that one. So just for poops and laughs, going to grab my cold steel sow belly. And we'll get this one out. This is probably a medium one, 8CR, 14 or 13 MOV. And when we pull out the... Alright. Now, if any of you have ever worked on a ranch, farm, just kind of any outdoors type of work, cutting ropes, you just never know what you come up against. Which one would you rather have? Don't get me wrong, this probably gets the job done, and it's lighter, and it's not a bad knife at all. Jig bone, sure, kind of pretty. But this one, okay, we can kind of comfortable where your finger sits here. You can really reach out there, or we can come up, and lo and behold, my second finger gets in front of that blade. So that's nice on the ergos. Don't normally do ergos on these traditional knives. Just thought I would today. Again, second finger gets in front of the blades. I'm not feeling anything. Got a nice move up position right there. And you can do some cutting. And what do we have left? We got this one. And I felt the scratch. So, and scratches or blade play, or not blade play, blade rubs, kind of acceptable on traditional knives. So, yep, that's good ergos. This is probably the least of my favorite. This one, this blade, they seem to stand proud on my ring finger here. But we can move up, and you can do some nice work with that. We're going to go ahead and finish this. I'll push that over and for the day. And thank you guys for joining me.